This is Gerardo Del Real live at the 2025 Beaver Creek Precious Metals Summit. Joining me today is a friend and a mentor and one of the most successful resource speculators in the space, Mr. Jeff Phillips. Jeff, it's great to have you on live in the flesh. How are you?
It's always good to see you.
Well, listen, you taught me very early on in my career that every 10 years or so, we'd be lucky if we got 2 years of a bull market.
Yep.
And I'm walking around here at the Beaver Creek Precious Metal Summit. Gold is pushing 3,700, record high gold prices. Silver looks like it wants to run. Copper's robust. Are we at the beginning of one of those bull markets there that you've talked about?
Absolutely. And it's going to be a bull market for the ages. I've seen 3 bull markets, and I think this one's going to rival the 93 to 96, 7 there before Bre-X sort of changed the market and changed the requirements for reporting in the mining industry. But then you had the big market from 03 to 07. You had the market that was 9 to 11.
Yeah.
And I think this one's going to be bigger than any of those.
So Jeff Phillips is saying this is going to be the greatest resource bull market over a 3 to 4 decade investing career.
Yeah, I think it's going to be it would be a big bull market no matter what, because like I said, it's been 15 years.
Yeah.
So longer than 10. So you can say I was wrong, but again, you haven't had a bull market in that amount of time. So we're going to have a good bull market. But what's different this time is the geopolitical situation and the fact that we haven't been, that 15 years has seen a critical under exploration for all these different commodities. And now you've got that coming to head like you would every 10 years. Everybody worries and prices, start mining and blah, blah, blah. But this time you have the fact that people want to secure their own supplies. We're starting to realize that we can't depend on other countries. And those countries can't necessarily depend on us, whether it's oil or, so, you have the Chinese that, when it comes to the metals, sorry, my phone's ringing in the middle of your interview. But
It's a bull market.
It's a busy conference. I thought I turned it off. But anyway, the Chinese control the rare earths, they control antimony, they control graphite, even copper, even though it's mined all over the world,
Sure.
60% of it gets smelted in China.
Right.
You've got uranium coming out of Kazakhstan, and the fact is that even the uranium we get from Canada, if you've noticed, they're not too happy with the 51st state comment. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we're not going to get it, but we have our own uranium. We've just, really not pushed those projects through.
Fall asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, so you got a double thing happening here. You're getting the historic, when you get that bull market every cycle, and you're getting a time where you metals and the geopolitical situation are all lining up. So it's going to be a big bull market.
You add in data centers and you add in, so
Robotics,
many countries, robotics, the U.S.
Yeah, and you just saw Apple, I'm pretty sure you'll see Tesla soon investing in mining companies because they're not going to have their AI robotic stuff that they're doing. If they, and they get it even faster. It's taken the U.S. government. I've been saying about the rare earth since 2009. Yeah. I financed 3 companies that went up 3,000%, and everybody knew that story. But then once tensions died down with the Japanese and rare earth prices went down, they didn't want us to produce, so all of our stuff ended up not happening. But the narrative's the same. But this time you've got companies coming in, besides the U.S. government's opening their checkbook, and they don't spend very well, as we all know, but they're going to write lots of checks.
Yeah.
On top of that, you've got people like Apple coming in and saying, hey, we want to finance this rare earth magnetic plant, processing plant in Texas. You're going to see people like Tesla going, gee, hey, we need these certain metals for our robotics. Let's make sure we have those. So you're going to see them going downstream. So I think there's so many things happening in this market. That being said, for your listeners, the junior market is an extremely risky space. Yep. The worst time to come into one is in a bull market, because what ends up happening is you think you're a genius.
Been there.
I have too. So I learned the hard way back in the 90s that, again, and I learned, and I've had, I think you and I have talked about this, even though this is a bull market, people talk about how bad the last 5 years have been in the resource sector.
Yeah.
It was one of my best 5 years, even with bull markets. You have to have some luck.
Absolutely.
But like we've talked about, structure in companies, and they're well-structured companies with management that has significant insider reporting ownership, which, people always ask, what's that mean? Like I'm saying it wrong. It means they report their shares that they own to the exchange. And they sell, and they're in it for the long haul, most likely. So I was lucky over the last 5 years. I've had 4 or 5 companies go up 3, 5, 600, and several go up thousands of %, and a couple buyouts. So again, I actually like when it's slower, because now you're going to see all the turkeys, and a strong wind, even the turkeys can fly.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's going to be easy, but one more caveat. Every bull market I've been in, that there's been a overall financial markets sort of the ears let out of the tires, so to speak. Yeah. So my only worry is we're definitely, I see it. I mean, every day I'm looking at my portfolios going, that's interesting. Everything's green. There is a chance, I could be wrong. It could be 3 years from now. It could be, and this could be a massive run. So I'm not telling you shouldn't be in. But if we do have a correction in the overall markets, that will create people needing liquidity, and that will hurt like the price of gold, just like it did in the real estate. It came down from 1,000 to 700. But 6 months later, it started its run to almost 2,000, right? Yep. So again, I'm coming in now. I'm not totally worried. I mean, I'm not going to overcommit myself where I'm borrowing against my positions and things like that. Yeah. But you get what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Is this helpful?
No. This has been fantastic. A masterclass on structure and management, insider reporting shares, and all the things that you want to look for. Despite having a bull market should be a blessing. It shouldn't be something you count on to use that as the excuse to make money. You should absolutely be doing your due diligence.
Structure and people will, I'm in the business outside of the bull markets, and I do fine.
Absolutely. Some names before I let you go. Some names you like, some gold, silver, maybe critical metals.
It's hard to recommend companies, and I'm on the end of the spectrum, which is the very high risk juniors, explorers, early stage developers. Discover something, proving it out, working on the metallurgy. So this is high risk. Sure. And something I can like today, my position is not going to change. And when you own millions of shares, I'm betting on an outcome, and it's possible 4 months from now that outcome won't,
materialize. Right.
Be my top 10 my top 10 favorite stocks. So, sure. But I'm excited this month because I've got a number of companies that are drilling, quality people, good share structures. Yeah. Not everyone's going to find, but I got my fingers crossed. I think a couple of them are going to find something pretty big. So you've got Kingsman Resources down in Mexico that should have drill results out this month.
Any day now.
It's always any day. Past producing silver mine. Yep. That they, because of the silver price, they didn't drill under the water table, and that should extend under there, and it could be a massive bigger trend. They were exposed. So again, I think that's very exciting. The company's about a $30 million market cap.
Phenomenal structure.
Yeah, great structure. So even if the drilling isn't, hopefully it's not, I don't think it's going to be duds at all. But if it doesn't totally excite the market, there's a bunch of good shareholders, and we're willing to keep going and prove this thing out. The great mines aren't found in a day; they're built. Yeah. So it's work. You don't find the treasure box; you work it out. But I think that's a great start. Look at Kingsman. I got to talk to Bob Dickinson here. It was just always a pleasure. He's 76 years old. Yeah. Head of the Hunter Dickinson Group, been around forever. Has won every award you can win in mining. Bought and sold companies, had companies not work, like anybody in this business, but he's been around a long time. 76, has more energy than I do.
There you go.
And he's got a couple great companies. A-Mark's made a discovery, and I'm not a shareholder in A-Mark, but I did finance the company with him. He owns 50% of the shares, called Quartz Mountain. They've just finished the phase 3 drill program.
Assays any day now.
Assays any day. So either Christmas is coming early, but I've got another company called Almadex Minerals, which is a very unique junior. It was a prospect generator. I won't go into the whole story, but they have about 30 properties. 14 of those are new. There's these lithocaps in the United States. Morgan's made multi-million ounce discoveries 3 times in the last 15 years. Mexico wasn't working out politically, so he's moved into the United States. No one else had recognized these types of lithocaps and the type of clay that he identifies. Very unique junior because it's sitting on $21 million in cash and gold, plus another, basically almost 40 cents a share in cash and a few securities they have.
And they own their own rigs.
They own their own drill rigs. They own their own geophysical equipment. And he's coming out of hibernation from a tough go in Mexico. And he's gung-ho to make a new discovery. And he's got plenty of cash. So, I think the stock has done well lately.
Absolutely.
But even so, you got 40 cents a share. And again, it doesn't really matter to me if it's 40 cents, 60 cents, 80 cents. I want them to find a copper porphyry under one of these lithocaps, because then you're talking about $1 billion asset. Right. And that's how I've done well in this business. So that's another one. Who else is drilling? You can think of someone. We were talking off camera. I know.
I'm biased. I'm going to tell you Hannon Metals because it's my single largest personal holding.
But I'm excited. I like Hannon, and obviously I know Michael, and I'm a shareholder. But I'm really excited about what we're going to drill next year.
Absolutely.
So, again, I told people if drilling doesn't go well, the stocks, again, on any given day, you can be down 20, 30%, markets, whatever. Yeah. This isn't investing. It's speculating, educated speculating. Right. So always remember, get good advice from someone. Don't even listen to someone like me. If stocks I pick doesn't mean it's for you. I don't know what your situation is.
Sure.
Talk to either a broker that knows this sector, or find a good newsletter writer like yourself and Nick Hodge.
Thank you.
That have a track record. Never just buy a stock as someone said, hey, I like this stock. You know, and my portfolio is my portfolio. I have it for a reason. If you know, people always ask me, like, this is the question I'll get when I walk about. If they hear this interview, here's the question I'll get from 5 people. Do you like Kingsman, Almadex, or Quartz Mountain better? Yeah. And what I always tell people is I say I rank them from 1, 2, and 3, and I can almost guarantee you the company I rank third
is the winner.
Is the winner, because it's true. I mean, I usually have 10 or 12 positions that are very large in the sector,
Right.
and if I rank them, it's always a joke of mine, and it'll always be one of the ones on the bottom of the list that ends up being the billion-dollar asset. So, but you know, again, there's other companies I like. I really like Bravo Mining. You and I both know Luis.
Absolutely.
He owns 50% of the company. He's grown that company to a $300 million market cap now. He wants to sell that company for $1 billion. He's the largest shareholder. I had a great meeting with him this morning. He's Brazilian lawyer, geologist, has sold, put a company together and sold it for $450 million. PGM project. I like platinum, palladium. I like what the prices are doing now. It was a rough 2 years, but I think they're going to keep going up, especially with gold. That's probably one of the top 2 PGM deposits in the world. Might be the only open pittable one. So. And again, he knows Brazil. Already got a permit. So yeah, that's if you're looking for something bigger. I'm not going to say not. There's tons of risk. You can still lose 20% in a day, and you can make 20% a day. Sure. But you know, you're buying something like that for the outcome of, hey, I think he's going to sell this for $6, $7, $8, $10 a share.
Excellent.
So there's another one.
Jeff Phillips, everybody, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
That was good.
All right.